This look took 5 days to prep and 100 fungus pieces to build. Here's how I made every single one of them by hand, including the eye tendrils. I made all the fungus using foam clay and a silicone mold I got off Amazon. The links are gonna be in my bio if you want to suffer through this too. Foam clay is amazing for cosplay because it's super lightweight, air dries in 24 hours, and you can shape it into everything you want. So I just started packing it into every mold I had, popping out different shapes and sizes of fungus. And when I say I made a lot, I mean a lot. Like at least 100 of these little things. For the stalker's eye tendrils, I rolled little worm shapes with the same foam clay and I pinched the ends to make rounded tips. And for the actual eye prosthetic, I flattened a clay circle and used the back of a makeup brush to poke in little holes. Apologies in advance if this triggers your trypophobia. It's gross, I know, but I had to do it, I'm sorry. While those were drying, I moved on to the biggest pieces, and these are the ones that go on top of my head on the stalker and for the clicker mask. I cut regular craft foam into fungus shapes, making the bottom curve like a half moon so it would contour better to my face. Then I grabbed my hot glue gun and added texture by tracing lines along the top and then creating little lines down each piece. I added glue to the sides too, just to fill in any gaps. Once everything was dry, I sealed it all with a layer of Mod Podge to help the paint stick. For some pieces, I used a heat gun to soften the edges. But PSA, heat guns are hot, shocking, I know, so just don't hover too long or you'll melt the foam. And then came painting. I started with a base of white and brown acrylic for that lovely undead look, then added depth with layers of watered down brown and then straight paint in the deepest spots. To add texture, I grabbed a sponge brush, poked holes in it with my nails, and used it to dab yellow paint around the edges of the fungus. I also added a bit of red paint near the yellow, blending it slightly but not too much. And some of them I just left them simple with just brown around the edges. Next, I glued the tendrils onto the prosthetic using hot glue and painted them using a mix of blue paint and water. Then I added yellow at the top of each tendril, a little red, and finally brown at the base to make them look good and gross. If you want to see how I actually applied all of this to my face, stay tuned for the makeup process video. Bye!